Hello and welcome to the Ghost Town Chronicles. Today we continue our exploration across the United States. Let's discover 10 abandoned military bases of Florida, their history, and the secrets they are hiding. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to help us continue making these series. Number 1. Fort Dade, Egmont Key. It was built in 1898 during the Spanish-American War to protect the entrance to Tampa Bay. The fort was named after Major Francis Dade, who was killed in the Second Seminole War. Fort Dade was designed to accommodate up to 500 soldiers, but it was never fully manned. It was armed with a variety of artillery, including 12-inch mortars and 8-inch disappearing guns. The fort also had a searchlight and a signal station. Fort Dade saw very little action during its time in service. The only major event to occur at the fort was the internment of Seminole Indians during the Third Seminole War in 1855. The Seminoles were held captive at the fort for several months before being transported to Oklahoma. Fort Dade was deactivated in 1923 after World War I. The fort was abandoned and left to the elements. The buildings at the fort have since fallen into disrepair, but the ruins are still visible today. Egmont Key is now a state park, and visitors can explore the ruins of Fort Dade. The park also has a lighthouse, a museum, and a variety of wildlife. There are a few reasons why Fort Dade was abandoned. First, the fort was built to protect against a Spanish invasion that never happened. Second, the fort was located on a remote island, which made it difficult to maintain and supply. Third, the development of new weapons and technologies made Fort Dade obsolete. Number 2. Naval Air Station Lee Field, Green Cove Springs. Naval Air Station Lee Field was a United States Navy air base that opened on September 11, 1940, in Green Cove Springs, Florida, to support the World War II efforts. The air station was named in honor of Ensign Benjamin Lee, who had lost his life in a crash at Killingholme, England, during World War I on October 28, 1918. During the war, it was primarily used by the Navy and Marines to train pilots. The Navy also used the base to store and maintain aircraft. At its peak, Naval Air Station Lee Field was one of the largest training bases in the United States. After the war, the Navy gradually reduced its operations at Lee Field. The base was finally closed in June 1962. There are a few reasons why Naval Air Station Lee Field was abandoned. First, the Navy no longer needed the base for training pilots. Second, the base was located in a rural area, which made it difficult to recruit and retain personnel. Third, the base was becoming increasingly expensive to maintain. After the base was closed, the property was sold to Julian Lewis Reynolds, of Reynolds Metal Company, in 1965. Reynolds Industrial Park was established and was served by rail, highway, water, and a private airport. Today, the ruins of Naval Air Station Lee Field are still visible. The property is now used as a commercial airport and industrial park. Number 3. Carlstrom Field, Arcadia. It was initially established in 1917 as an aviation training base during World War I. Named after Victor Carlstrom, an early aviation pioneer, the field played a crucial role in training military pilots for aerial combat. During its active years, Carlstrom Field served as a hub for flight training, particularly for the Army Air Corps and later the Army Air Forces. It trained thousands of pilots, providing them with the necessary skills to navigate the skies and support military operations. After the end of World War I, Carlstrom Field experienced a brief period of inactivity until it was reactivated during World War II. The base was used for primary flight training, teaching aspiring aviators the fundamentals of flying. As the demand for pilot training decreased after the war, Carlstrom Field faced the inevitable fate of many military installations. It was gradually phased out and eventually decommissioned in 1945. The base was subsequently abandoned and left to the elements. Number 4. Homestead Air Force Base, Homestead. It was commissioned on September 16, 1942, as Homestead Army Airfield. The base was originally used to support anti-submarine warfare operations in the Caribbean Sea. During World War II, Homestead Air Force Base was also used as a staging base for aircraft deployments to North Africa and Europe. The base was also home to a number of training units, including the B-29 Superfortress Training Unit. After the war, it continued to be used as a training base. The base was also home to a number of operational units, including the 1st Bombardment Wing, which was equipped with B-47 Stratojet bombers. In 1962, Homestead Air Force Base played a key role in the Cuban Missile Crisis. The base was used to launch reconnaissance flights over Cuba and to deploy fighter jets to intercept Soviet bombers. In 1992, Hurricane Andrew struck the base, causing severe damage. The base was subsequently closed and abandoned. Today, the ruins of Homestead Air Force Base are still visible. The former hangars and barracks have been demolished, but the runways and taxiways remain. The property is now used as a commercial airport and industrial park. Number 5. Fort Homer Hesterly, Tampa. It was originally constructed as an armory for the Florida National Guard in 1941, just before the United States entered World War II. The armory was named after Florida National Guard Major General Fort Homer Hesterly. Throughout its active years, Fort Homer Hesterly Armory served as a hub for military training and various community events. It hosted concerts, boxing matches, political rallies, and other public gatherings, becoming a significant cultural center in Tampa. Over time, the need for the facility diminished, and its military functions were phased out. By the 2000s, the armory was no longer in use for military purposes. Despite efforts to repurpose the building, including considering it for a National Music Museum, plans did not come to fruition. In 2004, the city of Tampa purchased the armory with intentions to redevelop the area. Unfortunately, due to financial constraints and disagreements over the best use of the space, the building became increasingly neglected and fell into a state of disrepair. By 2013, the armory was closed to the public, and its future remains uncertain, with various proposals and debates on potential redevelopment options. Number 6. Naval Air Station Fort Lauderdale. Its history dates back to the early 1940s when it was commissioned in 1942 during World War II. The base played a crucial role in training naval aviators and supporting anti-submarine operations during the war. During its active years, Fort Lauderdale was a key training center, particularly for torpedo bomber squadrons. It was an instrumental base for training pilots and crews on Grumman Avenger torpedo bombers, a pivotal aircraft during the war. After World War II, the fort continued to be an important training center for naval aviators, adapting to the changing needs of the Navy. It also served as a base for reserve units and various other Navy operations. However, with changing military strategies and advancements in aviation technology, the need for Naval Air Station Fort Lauderdale declined. The base eventually ceased its military operations and was officially closed in 1946. The land was later repurposed and redeveloped. The Fort Lauderdale Hollywood International Airport, Port Everglades, and various other commercial and recreational facilities now stand on the former site of Fort Lauderdale. Number 7. Naval Air Station Sanford, Sanford. Established in 1942 during World War II, it played a pivotal role as a training base for naval aviators and aircrew. During its active years, it was a primary training center for carrier-based aircraft. It focused on training pilots for carrier takeoffs and landings, critical skills for naval aviation. After World War II, the station continued to serve as a key training center, adapting to the evolving needs of naval aviation. It also played a role during the Korean and Vietnam Wars, providing training and support for pilots. However, with changing military requirements and the evolving nature of naval aviation, the need for the air station diminished. The base was gradually scaled down, and its functions were transferred to other facilities. It was officially closed in 1969. Today, Much of the former NAS Sanford site has been redeveloped, with parts of it utilized for other purposes. The Orlando-Sanford International Airport now occupies a portion of the land, continuing the legacy of aviation in the region. Number 8. Opa-locka Naval Air Station. Established during World War II, it served as a training base for naval aviators and aircrew. During its active years, Opa-locka Naval Air Station played a crucial role in training pilots for carrier-based aircraft, such as the Grumman Avenger torpedo bombers. It focused on preparing naval aviators for takeoffs and landings on aircraft carriers, an essential skill for naval aviation. After World War II, the base continued to operate as a training center, adapting to the evolving needs of naval aviation. It also played a role during the Korean and Vietnam Wars, providing training and support for naval personnel. However, with shifting military priorities and advancements in naval aviation training, the need for Opa-locka Naval Air Station changed. The base was gradually scaled down and ultimately closed in 1958. Following its closure, the land was repurposed for civilian use. Opa-locka Executive Airport now occupies the former site, serving as a general aviation airport and an industrial and commercial center. Number 9. Camp Roosevelt, Ocala. The Civilian Conservation Corps was a New Deal program established during the Great Depression to provide employment and natural resource conservation. The camp was one of many established across the United States during the 1930s. Camp Roosevelt Ocala had the primary mission of conserving and developing natural resources within the Ocala National Forest. This work included reforestation, erosion control, fire prevention, and the construction of recreational facilities, roads, and trails. The young men enrolled in the Civilian Conservation Corps, known as CCC Boys, undertook a wide range of projects to improve the forest while developing valuable skills. They planted trees, built bridges, constructed fire towers, and created recreational areas. The camp played a crucial role in the preservation and enhancement of the Ocala National Forest's natural beauty. After World War II, as the need for Civilian Conservation Corps camps diminished, Camp Roosevelt Ocala was deactivated. Number 10. Camp Gordon Johnston, Carrabelle. The camp was named after General Gordon Johnston, who served in World War I and died in a plane crash in 1943. During its active years, Camp Gordon Johnston primarily served as a training center for infantry and amphibious warfare. It played a vital role in preparing soldiers for combat in various theaters of the war. The camp's location along the Gulf of Mexico provided an ideal setting for training in beach landings and amphibious operations. Soldiers at Camp Gordon Johnston underwent intensive training in beachhead assaults, infantry tactics, and other skills required for amphibious warfare. The training conducted at the camp was crucial for the success of Allied forces in various amphibious operations during the war. After World War II, Camp Gordon Johnston was deactivated, and the land was returned to civilian use. Today, the former camp site includes a museum and memorials dedicated to the soldiers who trained there. Make sure to check out our video about abandoned military bases in California. Leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you enjoyed the video. See you next time for more Ghost Town Chronicles.